No, so pretty much like when I went in there, you know what I mean? He pretty much told me like my lawyer told me to, like if I tried that they were gonna put me in jail and everything. But
who told you that though?
Jim Rowe and fucking my lawyer were sitting there and everything, like when I initially talked to him. But you know, I finally just said fuck it because Jim Rowe sat there and told me, he's like, I give you my word as a man. He's like, I won't put DJ up on the stand. He's like, if you can cooperate. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, Mama. Like at the end of the day, I say I'll take the, you know what I mean, I'll take the hate from D and everybody else. I don't care. I'm not gonna force DJ to get up there.
Yeah, I know. Like I was flabbergasted when they subpoenaed DJ too. He's only 10 years old. He's been traumatized enough.
It's like, and you know, like he sat there and when he went through the questions, like, is there anything you don't want me to ask me? You know what I mean? There's like 3 questions that I felt like, you know, were worse off than, you know, the other questions. So I just told him not to ask me those. And he's like, all right. You know, and he went through everything. And it's like, I don't really feel like I said anything that bad. You know what I'm saying? Is to like, fuck D over. But like, Jim Rowe was even sitting there telling me, he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. He's like, everything you're sitting here saying, he's like, you're doing the opposite of what I'm trying to get done and everything. He's like, but he's like, if it's the truth, it's the truth. He's like, I can't argue with you about it and everything. But like, I just went to probation today, and she literally told me, she's like, yeah, she's like, well, I went in there and talked to Jim Rowe, just tell him to lay off your ass. She's like, he sat there and told me that if you didn't cooperate, that he had no problem at all with putting you in jail or shit. So,
wait, Jim Rowe said that?
Yeah, when you talk about PO and everything, about PO went in there the day that I was supposed to testify before any of us even went in there and shit, because she knew what the hell I was on. Like, that shit was stressful as fuck. And it's just like, I feel like I'm getting grilled by her, you know what I mean, by him, and then, you know, she's trying to, you know, mediate it, because she understands, like, all right, you're working 2 jobs. I don't have any days off throughout the week. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. When I have extra bread, like, I make sure that Davina brings it up there to put it on these books, you feel me? Because, like, end of the day, it's like, I'm not trying to have my name be on these books just in case I get in trouble for it. But you know what I mean? Like, I'd still like to make sure he's got money and shit, and that's not going to stop regardless if he's mad at me or not. But, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a whole shitty situation. And there was, like me and you were even talking, I didn't see a positive in any situation. But it's like,
right.
As soon as he sat there and told me, like, he's like, well, if you cooperate, he's like, I won't put DJ up there. He's like, and then if DJ gets forced to be up there, he's like, I won't grill him and everything. And that's my main concern. At the end of the day, it's like, I love D to death, but you know what I mean? Like, I can sit there and bear the hate. I can sit there and be called a snitch. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass man. You know what I mean? Like, it's not anything new. It's like, well, with DJ, it's like, I don't want to even sit there and have to deal with nephew having to go through that mentally of going up there and testifying against his dad and whatnot. So, I don't know. I mean, Trey and D and everybody are shitty, but it's like, end of the day, it's like, it's whatever.
But Jim Rowe, he's not supposed to, like, threaten a witness with, like, jail time or being held within contempt of court. No, he's not supposed to do that. And he's not also supposed to, like, how he did, I don't know, did he going over what you're going to testify? He's not supposed to do that. You know?
Not at all. But, like, everything that I answered, it was, I'm not going to lie to you, Mama, if they would have played, like, the interrogation videos, and me and D had already talked about it was 10 times worse. So I felt like my best choice of action was to just go in there, you feel me, switch up my words a little bit when I testified and everything. And that's what I did, like, and everything. Because if they would have played those videos, they would have just painted us all out to be monsters. And it's like, that wasn't even the case.
Yeah, but see, in those videos, though, you were high.
No, and I literally said that. And it's like, you know what I mean? But it's like, end of the day, it's like, He didn't care. He was trying to sit there and play all the videos and shit.
So wait, so even though you were high, like, he still felt like, I'm still going to use them.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, I mean, because, like, I talked to the lawyer. They're not supposed to do that. You can't even use that.
I mean, there's a bunch of flawed-ass bullshit that's going on. But at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, I'm just looking at it like, what's done on my end is done. Like, yeah, okay, I'm going to live with it. At the end of the day, like, it did hurt me. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. You can ask Todd, like, I made it out of that courtroom and out of the courthouse, and Todd had to carry me back to the car. Like, I couldn't. My whole body just gave out. Like, I ain't cried in so long, and it was just, there was so much anger and, like, sadness in me, mama, that it took me, like, and I don't cry, like, D and anybody else will sit there and tell you, I am not the one to cry, and it's like, that took a part of me, like, and I think it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's like, I know me and D didn't even have to look at each other, but that energy in the room spoke magnitudes and shit. It's like, I knew he was mad at me, you know what I mean, but everybody else is sitting there like, oh, D's not mad at you. It's like, I know D better than, you know what I mean, everybody else sitting there trying to tell me he's not mad at me and everything. It's like, I know at the end of the day he's mad at me because I broke his heart, you feel me? And it's like I broke my own heart doing it, but I know that, like, if he understood, like, if it came down to me or DJ testifying, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it every time because I don't want that to, you know what I mean? Like, obviously that's not gonna fuck with their bond, but like in D's mind, it's gonna fuck with their bond at DJ bond.
Yeah, Jim Rowe used that as an excuse. Because his main thing was to put you in jail. He went over there and talked to your PO. Like, that's crazy.
The lawyer, though, literally asked the perfect questions. Like, I mean, she asked one of the questions that I didn't want Jim Rowe to ask, and he didn't ask, but she did. And that was as far as bringing Todd's name up in the mix, you feel me? And, like, I literally sat there, I was like, I'm not comfortable answering that. I said, like, 3 times, finally the judge made me answer and shit. And everything, and Todd was like, go ahead, and everything. But, like, as soon as Dee's lawyer realized who it was, because she's Todd's lawyer, too, that female that's defending him and everything, she's like, well, does Todd have any knowledge? I was like, no. I was like, I didn't tell Todd or Danny or any of them what I was going out there to do besides just to grab kids. I didn't say whose kids. I didn't say where we were going, none of that and everything. So Todd and all them are in the clear. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, that was just so hard to do. And then it's like, these lawyers asked me, she's like, well, why would they give you use immunity if you've already been charged and everything? Like, she asked the perfect question she needed to ask because I didn't hold back. I was like, I feel like I'm forced to be here. They gave me use immunity to, you know, pretty much disable my Fifth Amendment. I was like, and then they wanted to sit there and threaten me with if I didn't testify, I was going to be getting 20 years for contempt of court under, like, perjury or some shit. Like, it was just dumb and everything.
That's illegal, though, Bryce. That's illegal.
I mean, I'm not denying.
You're not supposed to coerce He's not supposed to coerce the. Did Judge Elliott tell you that too, or did just Jim Rowe do that?
No, it's literally on record that if me and Lily do not testify, she word for word, mama, was literally like, Judge Dickerson gave somebody 20 years for the same thing because they had use immunity and got up there and decided to plead the fifth. She said, if you guys get up there and do not testify and try to plead the fifth, she's like, I will give you guys each 20 years.
Oh, my God. Wow.
D was in the courtroom when it happened, everything. Like, there was no wiggling around it, none of that. Like, it was either I was going to jail and, you know, they were going to make DJ get up there and testify, and then everybody's fucked, you know what I mean, in the sense that it's just like a mental fuck, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, the way I'm looking at it, though, mama, and D, you know what I mean? Like I said, okay, D's mad at me right now. I get it. He hasn't called me, you feel me? As much as I want to sit there and talk to him and clear the air, like, I do understand that, you feel me? It's just a stressful time and shit and everything, but it's like, end of the day, though, it's like, you want me to sit there and pretty much keep it gangster with motherfuckers when, like, it's not helping me or you, like, if I get up there and do nothing, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be in jail right along with you, and then I'm not able to put money on your books. I'm not able to do what you need me to do on the house. On top of the fact, I'm sorry, mama, I'm not trying to please all these random ass people. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna sleep better at night knowing, like, all right, yeah, everybody ain't mad at me. You know what I mean? As far as like your guys' family goes, I do look at you guys like you're my family and everything. But it's like, I don't care about what the next motherfucker is saying as far as it being a random or somebody that was like, oh, I'm cool with D. When in reality, y'all wasn't around D, like, and anything like. I don't care about what the public's opinion is, like, you know what I mean? And that's my big thing. And then it's like, I'm even going back and forth with Trey because Trey over here threatening Todd and Rachel and shit, and then my nieces and nephews talking about, oh, I'm going to go burn your house down, this, that, and the third. Like, Trey, you're on the man's paperwork. Like, I got up there and said the bare minimum. Yes, okay, it did not help him. Right. It didn't fuck him either. Right. And everything. But it's like, you're trying to play like you're this outstanding family member, but every time this popped off, you ain't been around. And that's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I'm sitting here trying to hold my tongue because I know how I am. And everything. But it's like, bro, like, you're sitting here telling, he pretty much told Todd, like, oh, we got up there and testified for no reason because they weren't going to force him. He's working with the feds, this, that, and the third. Like, Trey just talking to talk without knowing anything whatsoever. and only goes to one of these court dates the day I testify so that he can have some sort of information in his brain to talk shit about. Like, it's that he's got that female drama in him, and that's why I separated myself from him to begin with. Like,
right.
I could care less, but it's just, that whole situation just irritated me. And, like, even my PO knows and everything. Like, I just went in there today, and she was supposed to drop me today, and I was like, I'm going to fail my drop. I was like, I've been drinking and shit. She's like, when did that start? I was like, since this whole situation. I was like, I can't sleep at night. Like, I was like, you know how fucked up it is to even sit there and have to go in there and testify against the person who, like, really, like, he took me in. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I was young, dumb, clueless. Like, I understood the world, but shit, it was like, I just let the world do whatever to me rather than, standing on my own 10 toes about shit. Like, I was even sitting there talking to Tiger about it. She's like, out of everybody, she's like, you are Baby D. She's like, I hate to say it. She's like, you took all of these negatives and positives and turned it into you. She's like, I love you. She's like, you're my little brother. She's like, but she's like, end of the day, she's like, that's what I'm always going to realize is you are. She's like, you used to be nerdy and just chill and be out of the way. She's like, now, she's like, you the first motherfucker trying to pop off or some shit. I was like, I understand that. I was like, but that's not me.
Right.
I was like, I just, you know what I mean, like, and everything, but I do. I love D, like, wholeheartedly, and it really broke me to even have to get up there and do that, but it's like, because I haven't had that conversation with D and only a few people know is what Jim Rowe pulled, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I understand why he mad at me, you know what I mean? But it's like, I looked at the options I was given in that time frame, and it was like...
Right, and I mean, what do you do? If you got the judge, you got the DA, District Attorney Jim Rowe, you got your PO, all threatening you with going to jail for 20 years or being held within contempt of court. What do you do?
Well, no, like my PO was cool. I'm not gonna lie to you, Mama. I got a really cool PO as far as this whole situation goes. She's the one that's been sitting there fighting with Jim Rowe. Like, she's been doing more than my lawyer has. You know what I mean? Like, as far as trying to check this nigga's, like, really ego. It's just like you're so stuck in your way of trying to get a conviction and shit. And then it's like you're trying to sit there and tell me, well, my job isn't to make D out to be guilty or anything. It's my job is to get the truth, this, that, and third. Like, I laughed at him while we were in the office, and he kind of got shitty with me. It's like, bro, like, do you think I believe anything you're really saying to me? Like, I understand what your intentions are. Your intentions are to win this case because it's going to look good for you at the end of the day. You don't give a fuck about getting justice for somebody. You don't give a fuck about getting the truth. You want whatever's going to make you look the best. I was like, and that's not what's going to happen with me. I was like, I'm going to sit up here. I'm going to answer these questions truthfully. I was like, the way that I've been answering them. I was like, fuck it, you can hold me in contempt. I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, I'm going to let the truth come out. And shit, it's like, that don't bug me if it come down to me or DJ. But it's like you sitting over here trying to spin it like you on my side. You're not on my side. I've been through that 100,000 times already. Like, I understand because I can read fake energy. It's like,
right.
It's like you're coming off weird to me and everything. And he really got shitty with me. He walked out, and then like the lady that's supposed to talk to the witnesses in like their office, everything. She was cool. She was even sitting there like she's like I really feel like you're just forced to be here. She's like, I don't get why they're giving you use immunity when you've already been charged. She's like, I don't understand why they're trying to threaten you with 20 years. Everything like had a whole ass conversation with me and this shit about it. I don't know. I was like, but at this point, I was like, my options are really limited. It's either go sit in jail and try and fight a case that isn't even going to go in my favor solely off the muscle of all the fucking bullshit that Kankakee be doing.
Right, because the district attorney, Jim Rowe, and freaking the judge, what do you do? If you got both of them on your neck threatening you, what do you do? I don't know. I think if D would have had a proper lawyer that stuck with them throughout the whole trial, their best bet would have just been to get tried in a different county because, I mean, there's always bias because they feel like they all work together with shit. Right, they're friends. Like, they're friends with the victim, all of them. Like, he did file for a change of venue, and, because they're all buddies, they denied it. Yeah, and that's the thing that's so shitty, though, because it's like when I was locked up in Indiana, there's a kid that was like a year younger than me fighting the case because he got caught with like 3 guns, a shit ton of ammunition, and had already threatened all 3 schools in the town I got locked up in to shoot him up. And they tried him in a different county because they understood that everybody was, going to have some sort of emotional connection because it's their kids, their grandkids, their nieces, their nephews, like their friends' kids and shit like that. I don't get how they can do that for a situation like that, but not for one like these. Like, that's backwards. Yeah, it's messed up. It's messed up. What they did to you, Bryce, was illegal. They were not supposed to do that to you. And then Lily either. Like, and I want to know, Bryce, when did you see Lily? Like when I don't know, like at some point, when did you see her?
No, I never seen Lily since this whole situation. Like, I seen her obviously the night I went out there to grab the kids and whatnot, because she went back with Todd when I hopped in the car with Josh. But it's just like, I mean, like, this whole situation, like, I haven't talked to Lily. The only person I've talked to is D. Like, I've sat there and texted, I think it's Layla.
Okay.
Like, her little cousins that would always be at the trailer with us and
yeah.
shit. Layla, you know what I mean, be checking in with me. And then Junior, like, X and everything, her little brother and shit, he be talking to me and whatnot. But, like, I seen Junior, like, right after trial and shit.
Yeah.
And like was sitting there talking to him, and then about got into it with Trey. Like not Trey, like, you know what I mean, Dee's cousin, but Lily's little cousin, one that we was all having problems with, because he's just sitting next to me, like sitting next to X and smiling and shit.
Well, Trey needs to just cut it out. He needs to cut it out and just sit back and shut up, like literally.
No, I'm talking about like Lily's cousin Trey though, because like, you know, like obviously when all that shit popped off and everything, and like he's sitting there telling everybody like what you and D and me and like Trey, like, you know what I mean, like your guys at Trey are all sitting there saying, all of the people that are sitting back there shooting up your crib, like, you can even ask D. I smacked the shit out of him, because D's like, I can't put my hands on him, like, that's Lily's little cousin and shit. And I was like, shit, I was like, I don't owe her anything, you feel me? Like, at the end of the day, like, he's playing around in a game that does not concern him, like, he's a little kid.
Yeah,
so me and Trey,
you know, you need to sue them, Bryce. I really think you should. I mean, that's like a civil, because they mess with your civil rights. Don't you think?
No, right, and that's, you know what I mean, that's my thing, and it's like he's sitting over here telling me, like D's lawyer did a really good job, though, as far as, like, were they offering you anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like, as if I was getting, like if they were going to knock me off probation, or, you know what I mean, give me some sort of incentive to testify. I was like, no, it's like, I'm literally feel like I'm getting forced to testify. I said it on the stand. And Jim Rowe, being Jim Rowe, not comprehending shit, was, like, played perfectly into D's lawyer's hand, because he stood up not understanding what the fuck she just asked me. And he's like, so just to clear the air, he's like, I'm not offering you anything, correct? I was like, no, bro. I was like, I feel like I'm fucking threatened to be here. Like, what else do you want me to say? Like, and shit. And, like, they're all like, no further questions. But, like, they literally just asked me, like, as far as, like, what the phone call was the night that everything happened. Because, you know, D called me and, like, turned around and was like, well, did you talk to D while you're out there getting his kids? I was like, for like 2 seconds. I was like, I passed out so he could be around his kid and shit. And then they were like, well, is this the towel that you threw the gun in the water in? And I was like, I don't know. It was dark. I was like, I'm assuming so and shit. But, and then they just had me, like, identify D on a fucking projector bullshit screen. And whatnot. Like, the whole shit was just stressful as fuck.
Yeah, like, I know, Bryce. I know. This is just, this whole situation is messed up.
No, yeah, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, like, I understand why D's mad at me. I think my only problem as far as everything goes is, like even with, like, Jamin and all them, it's like, Jamin and all them know, like, at the end of the day, it's like, I look at all y'all, like, family, like, y'all can sit down and talk to me about the shit. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to sit there and listen to, you know what I mean, whatever y'all got to say about it and shit, whether it's bringing my ass a new one or sitting there trying to comfort me. But it's like, with Trey, it's like, he really pushing that point. Like, I guess D ended up calling him and telling him to chill the fuck out, because it's like, Trey does not comprehend, like, bro, like,
right,
my connection to you is through D, like,
right,
and everything. And it's like, you over here threatening my god kids on top of the fact of Todd and Rachel, and that's like two people I do not play about. It's like, Trey, like, I'm
gonna talk to him. I'm gonna talk to him, Bryce, myself. I'll talk to him.
My thing, though, you feel me, is just like, I ain't even entertaining it. I have not entertained it. Todd hasn't even been entertaining it. It's like, everybody sitting here texting Todd, like, oh, you take it with Whoopty Will, and Todd straight up told him, like, as far as that situation goes, like, I can't speak on it. He's like, but that's still my brother. He's like, any of y'all trying for anything unrelated today? He's like, I'm jumping in. He's like, but he's like, you know what I mean? He made his choice. Got to rely on what the fuck happens. And I was like, you know, Rachel and him started arguing about it. I was like, Rachel, you can't be mad at him about it. I was like, at the end of the day, we all gangbang or do whatever. It's like, I understood what the fuck I signed up for. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that if there are consequences, I'm going to accept those. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking at it like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. In my eyes, I did wrong. Regardless of the state or anybody else trying to sit there and tell me I ain't do wrong. Like, it's like, for me, it's like, I feel like I went in there, and regardless if I helped or didn't help their case, I feel like I feel like I buried D and shit. And like that's something, you know what I mean, that don't sit right with me and shit like that. That make me feel bad inside and shit compared to what the fuck the next motherfucker is saying as far as, yo, you're a snitch, this, that, and the third. Like, bro, I don't entertain y'all because y'all wasn't rocking with D like that. Y'all was not around us.
No, they wasn't. And D love you like you his brother.
And you know what I mean? Like, that's like the only reason as to why, like, I haven't even been entertaining it. And plus, it's like, I even told Todd now them, it's like, because Rachel's genuinely getting worked up. I was like, bro, Trey just talks. I was like, don't even entertain it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was like, if you really feel threatened, I was like, I will go handle this shit. I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, but I understand the type of person Trey is. Trey's going to run his mouth and then dip off and go hide somewhere.
Right. So, because you know that, you're going to leave it alone. Right.
No, right. And everything. So I was just like, fuck it. And then with everybody else, it's like, you guys are texting Todd. You guys aren't texting me because y'all understand at the end of the day, I'm not going to let y'all disrespect me like that. Because y'all don't understand what the fuck happened. Y'all don't understand mine and D's bond. It's like y'all don't have a place to speak on it. And especially with motherfuckers that are sitting there trying to hit me up when the whole shit popped off. Like, they was over here, oh, well, these got a $25,000 reward. Like, everybody's thinking I didn't know about it. And they're like, well, where's D at? I want him to serve me, this, that, and the third. Knowing damn well any other time y'all hit us up, like, I go and serve everybody the bud while D in there doing whatever he's with you or whatever the fuck he doing and shit. Like, so it's like y'all just doing the most and shit, trying to catch a motherfucker up, but then now y'all want to sit there and, oh, free D thing, buddy and shit, but like y'all wasn't trying to sell this nigga out for $25,000.
Right. Exactly.
So, I don't know, I'm in a safe place, you know what I mean? Like, I'm chilling at the crib and shit. I've been working. I'm about to have another job as far as, like, like at the end of the day, like I said, mama, if D can be mad at me for the rest of his life, it's not going to stop me from putting money on his books. You know what I mean? Like, I know at the end of the day, it's my brother. I'll make sure he eat, regardless if it's hate or love between him on his end. Like, it's still love with me and shit. Like, that ain't going to change.
Yep, exactly. So, and you keep on doing that. We love you anyway, Bryce.
No, I love all y'all. It's just like I said, this whole situation just did not go as planned in the slightest. Like, I mean, I don't like that I even got brought into it, but it's like, as far as everything that, like, me and you talked about, or, you know, like, me and anybody talked about, it's like, I had a plan in my brain going into this, and it's just like, every step of the way, I feel like it just got more and more blindsided.
Right, so well, you were forced. You didn't have a choice in the matter. What do you do if you got somebody...
No, that's like my thing, but then it's like, you feel me, when he sat there and told me, like, all right, like, I won't make DJ get up there if you do what you're supposed to do. Like, end of the day, like, that's cool. I'll bear the burden. You feel me? I'll sit there where the label, it don't fucking matter to me. Because it's like, I'd rather me sit there and have to live with that in my mental than DJ have to get up there and live with that in his mental. Because I already know how DJ is. And I think from the last time I talked to DJ had been getting in fights in school, just, you know what I mean, wilding out a little bit and shit. And it's just like, that's not the DJ I remember. Like, I know this whole situation fucks with him because this is the same kid that, you know what I mean, came home and got in trouble from school because, you know, he held a kid down while they were beating him up, but the kid was sitting there calling him the N-word, and he was literally in tears about it. Like, I don't like putting my hands on anybody. I'm not like that. And now it's like a full 180. He don't care. Like, that boy done lost his kindness and his innocence, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's gonna be okay. They, you know, but I think that you should be able to be compensated for them saying we're gonna give you 20 years and you're gonna be held in contempt if you dare say that. You had the right to say I plead the fifth. You know that, right?
Up until they tried to take my right, and then it's like to sit there and go as far as even the newspaper article. The newspaper does not know shit that they're talking about. And they're over here blasting this shit on social media, the newspaper and shit, talking about apparently what they were trying to say is that Indiana's the ones that were telling me that I had to testify, and it was a part of my plea deal. That's not the fucking case at all. You feel me? I got an enhancement because I wouldn't testify. On top of the fact, like, you guys are trying to sit there and say I got called with the Glock, I got called with the Kimber, I got called with her gun. You know what I mean? Like, it's so out of the loop. Yeah, y'all are trying to spin it to where y'all think y'all know what you're talking about, and all you're doing is A, making you look dumb, and B, bringing more heat my way because y'all want to sit there and give the people what the fuck they want. But in reality, it's just gossip at this point.
Right. They're lying. What they need to be blasting is how Jim Rowe told you, I'm going to give you 20 years. You know, I'm going to hold you in contempt, right, trying to take your Fifth Amendment right. They need to be talking. There ain't nobody saying nothing about that. You're not supposed to do that to witnesses.
Like, even on the newspaper thing, I mean, on the news, they posted the one little snippet out of like my testimony or whatever, which was D pretty much telling me as to what the fuck happened. And I literally, you know, I sat there and told him, I was like, yeah, I was like, he sat there and told me that he was getting ready to turn himself in, he was putting everything up, and walked out, and they had legally restrained and everything, so he just kind of crashed out and everything, and that was literally as far as that went and everything, and they're over here trying to put that on the news, but not the fact that literally right after that question, I literally was like, I feel threatened to be here, like, I feel like I'm being forced to be here, but they don't want to put that in the news.
They need to put that on the news. Tell the truth. Man.
They'd rather just sit there and get this story to paint this image like he's a monster, and that's what.
Right, and then they need to talk about how they tried to take out a 8-month pregnant woman. Nobody's saying nothing about that.
I was like, you know what I mean? Like, and then they were like, you know, Jim Rowe asked me, he's like, well, how long have you known the defendant? And I was like, since I was like 14. I was like, he used to date back when he dated Tiger, you know, like Tiger. I grew up with Tiger, like my big sister and everything. So it's like, I mean, like obviously that's how I met D. And they're like, well, when did you move in with D? I was like, I don't know. It was like, I'll say like maybe like a year before. I was like, it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like I literally sat there and told them, like, I ain't have nowhere to go. That man put a roof over my head. I gave me a bed to sleep in, made sure I was eating and everything like that. And then, you know, Jim Rowe got so shitty when I said that on the stand, but it's the truth. Like, y'all want to paint him out to be a monster. He's not a monster. Like, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, like, we're men. We're going to defend our family. We're going to defend our, you know, respect and everything and shit. But it's like y'all can't sit there and be like, oh, he's a monster and shit. Like, it doesn't work like that.
It's
doesn't.
Like
y'all sit there and judge this man off one action, which is cool in the court system, but it's like the media trying to drag it. Everybody else in town is trying to drag it.
They are.
And then it's like you got the people that aren't helping because they want to glorify his ass as far as, oh, well, fuck 12, da-da-da. Like,
right,
no, the man
right.
didn't do it because, oh, I'm a gangster and I got to stand on 10. He did it because he was defending his family.
Right, his 8-month-old pregnant woman. Man, ain't nobody saying nothing about that. They sure trying to hide that.
But, like, Todd was even sitting there, and he's like, bro, I feel like we're going to get subpoenaed to court. And then Tiger made a really good point to me. She's like, after what you said and then what they already knew, I wouldn't be surprised to get subpoenaed to Lili's trial instead of D's.
They might. You never know.
So, I don't know. I'm just trying to deal with the blowback from it at this point and get my head back straight and just keep pushing in life. I feel like that's all I can really do at this point.
Yeah.
Shit, but it's just stressful. It's like I want to go to his trial, but at the same time, though, it's like I don't want to see him like that anymore. It's just that whole courtroom vibe just threw me off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
But
well,
like,
it's okay, Bryce.
I said it's okay, Bryce.